This episode of Bourbon on Ice, presented by Your Friend Frosty and your bartender Mike Whiskey, is brought to you by the Cape Media Center of Cape Cod, Massachusetts. The views and opinions expressed during this podcast do not necessarily reflect those of the Cape Media Center. Listener discretion is advised.
The itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout.
Spider? Where?
Down
Where?
came
Okay.
the rainman, washed the spider out.
Did I get it?
And
Did I
then
get
we
it?
threw it out the window, the first story window, with a heaving ho and a hefty throw. We threw it out the window.
Don't scare me like that. I thought there was an actual spider.
No, why would I mention a spider if it wasn't real?
I'm gonna play the music.
Okay.
Welcome, listeners, to Bourbon on Ice,
where we talk about everything nerdy, like gentlemen.
Join us every week for our local Cape Cod take on, well, everything.
Laugh, cry, be confused, and laugh some more.
I'm your friend Frosty.
And I'm your bartender, Mike Whiskey. Stay tuned.
You think they'll like the episode?
Oh, they'll definitely love it.
So you're sure there's no spider?
Positive.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure there's no spider.
There's no spider.
All right, everyone. Hi, welcome to another episode of Bourbon on Ice, where we discuss all things nerdy, like gentlemen. I am your friend Frosty.
And I am your Time Lord, Robare.
Unfortunately, Whiskey is not with us. I hear something about him being shanghaied by pirates and carried off on a ship over the seas. And
He should be so lucky. Wait, we should be so lucky.
Where are the Philippines again? I keep forgetting that.
Somewhere over there. I'm pointing somewhere to the right.
Okay, that's where the pirates took him. Whiskey has been shanghaied by pirates and taken to the Philippines. It was a whole thing, and we've moved on.
Yes, and that's why I'm here, because basically when whiskey isn't, I am.
Also, you look kind of funny.
I try not to look funny.
It's amusing. You look amusing. In a good way. I have fun looking at you.
Oh, okay. Now I'm getting paranoid. I don't understand. Why? What's behind me?
Oh, actually, that reminds me. Speaking of spiders and things behind you. Kirk, Robbie, and I went to see the movie Renfield on Friday. We're sitting in the movie theater in Mashpee Commons, and might I point out, we were 3 of 5 people in that entire theater.
Oh, is that the picture you took?
Yeah, I posted that photo.
And you were saying theaters were active, and like, yes, it's active, and I'm like, it doesn't look very active.
Active as in open, but yeah. Anyway, we're sitting there during the movie, and at one point, Kirk suddenly starts flailing around, managing to scare us where the movie was not. We're like, what? What is it? Spider, crawl across my face. It crawled down off of his hat, off the brim of his hat, and onto his face.
Oh my God.
It's 3D horror.
Oh, jeez.
And I'm not going to lie, there are actual spiders in the movie. They're not a giant point, but there are spiders. So it's like, oh, wow, that's really clever of this movie theater. It's an interactive experience.
Yike. So if there's spiders in this movie, why did you not suddenly like scream and run out?
Ever since the little stabby, slicey to my eyeballs, spiders aren't as terrifying. I'm still not fond of them, but they are kind of fascinating to look at.
Well, see, that's kind of how I feel. If I'm outdoors and they are, that's okay. But as soon as they come inside, they're gone.
Yeah, as I've said, nothing ruins your illusions of security and well-being than seeing a spider just appear within your own domicile.
Last summer, I had a spider do exactly that. It built a web directly over my head in the bedroom.
I shouldn't be laughing, but I'm going to.
So, I swear, like the rest of the summer, I simply turned my bed around so that my head was in the other direction. Just in case it suddenly decided to drop, it would land on my feet, which I could deal with rather than my head.
Okay, we had an ex-roommate. He was sitting on the couch one day, the love seat in my living room, and there's these kind of white curtains that are up over the picture windows in front of the blinds, and I'm walking past him one day, and I glance up, and I said, "Hey, dude, what? Look at me. Keep looking at me. Give me your hand and just get up off the couch. Why? What is it? Just give me your hand and get up off the couch without moving the curtains. Why? What is it?" And he comes to stand next to me. He turns around. I turn around and I point, and there is like the size of a tennis ball.
Ooh.
It was so big you could see it through the curtains. A massive spider.
Yike.
And the two of us look at each other, and neither of us is in the mood to dash off and be a hero. So we went to the other person in the house. Robbie, we need your spider killing skills. And he he put on a pair of gloves. He got massive wads of paper towel. He reached up into the thing, and when he closed it around it, we heard a crunch.
So it was that big.
It was like the sound of breaking ice in your jaw.
Ooh. Ow. Ooh. Ugh.
And the thing is, he managed to stain the curtain, so when he finally got rid of the whole thing and flushed it down the toilet, we're looking up, there's this big black stain, this brown stain at the top of the curtain.
Wow. See,
It was that big.
For something that size, I would have tried really hard to be the big man and simply collect it and bring it outside. You know, kind of like that cricket I found in the bathtub. Way too big to kill. It would have crunched ridiculously. Best to just put it in a red Solo cup and bring it out.
I don't know what's happened to me. I've started saving many of the spiders in my house, unless I see a brown recluse, in which case that thing is dead.
Well, yeah. There was one time I woke up to go to work, and so I get out of bed, and I go to the bathroom, and I come back. And in the meantime, a spider had decided to go dangling down from the ceiling. So I go back to my bed, and it's right here, and I'm like, whoa, where'd you come from? And so I put down my cell phone to make I could try, hoping I would make it land on my phone and then kind of cover it up. And it lands on the phone and somehow realizes it's not on actual ground and shoots back up to the ceiling. And I'm like, no, that's not going to work. And I kind of chase after it and with a big wad of Kleenex, I can just kind of grab it on the ceiling and squish it. I was like, sorry, dude, I was trying to do this properly, but you've made it difficult for me.
It was afraid of social media.
I guess so.
It was early in the morning. It didn't have its makeup on. It didn't want all of its followers seeing it.
It was so weird. It was like, ooh, that's glass. I don't want to land on glass. It's not the ground. Ooh, I don't want to do that. It was really weird.
We get flies in our house during the spring and the summer, and I have a tense truce going on with the spiders. You guys take care of the flies. You can stay. You also stay on the ceiling. I see you below the counter space. You're dead.
There was one time I spent the night at your house, and there was a spider in the ceiling, and I just kind of looked at it and said, I'll make a deal with you. You don't come down here, and I won't go up there. And by morning, it was gone. So wherever it went, that's okay.
You know, they say that the average human being eats 10 spiders in their sleep a year.
Yeah, I don't believe that at all.
I hope it's not real.
I don't think so.
I'm also very content in the fact that I am definitely not average in any way.
And now that I wear a CPAP mask, a spider's got to do some serious traveling to get in my mouth.
Looking down, they're going, damn it, he made it hard.
Very
All right,
hard.
let's call the Council of Spiders. Guys, we got another one.
The Council of Spiders.
All right, so what day is it? It is 420. Oh, wow, I just realized what that is.
Is it really 420?
Yeah, it is. I just realized that.
Son of a gun. It's
Should we be taking advantage of this?
I don't.
I have work tomorrow. And
It's like Spaceballs. Smoke him if you got him.
And like everyone says, 420, National Pot Day. 421, National Surprise Drug Test at Work Day. It's literally why I don't ever do anything on this day.
And like they also say, it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
I could drink. I do love drinking.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to do that either.
During work? Yeah. No.
Well, at all, because, sugar.
Actually, no, there's plenty of booze out there that is keto friendly. I drink mostly that now, and I still get appropriately schnockered, so thank you, medical science.
Where there's a will, there's a beneficiary.
I was trying to bring light to the fact that this is April, and by April we are, saying goodbye to television shows at this point. Many of them are starting to roll out their season finales. Many of them are saying, well, that's it, we're done for the year. Let's end on a gruesome, horrifying cliffhanger, and are they going to be renewed? Are they going to be canceled? They're rolling out the trailers for whatever's coming by in the summer. Crime Scene Kitchen Season 2, yes!
Jeez.
Well, just because you have no culture.
I just saw the last episode of Star Trek Picard.
Why is the internet lit up like fire over that?
Because the internet remembers fondly Star Trek The Next Generation.
I lived through Star Trek Next Generation. I do not remember it fondly. I was a Star Warsian.
Star Trek The Next Generation was a very family-oriented show. It was a brightly lit ship. It was I'm going to kick you.
I don't think you can reach me. This is a long table.
That was you that I kicked.
What was that? I think a kitten may have run into the room and tapped my foot.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Also,
yeah.
I'm wearing steel toes.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, Star Trek Next Generation was a really fun show before we got the grid of Deep Space Nine, Voyager, and that experiment that didn't go too well called Enterprise, even though I liked it. Because, the guys in their underwear was very nice. It was very nice.
Watching it for the plot, were we?
Plot? What plot? Exactly. And, so Next Generation was really, really nice. And now the Next Generation crew, they're back. The ship is back for all of 2 episodes. And it's just a lot of feels good.
But all I'm seeing are these vague book posts across Facebook. Oh, I can't believe what just happened on Picard. No one say anything. No spoilers, but
Right.
my gosh.
Right, so you can't tell them what happened, but you can react.
Apparently it's something good. If I wanted to fool you people, I just go like, oh my gosh, Star Trek Picard. Oh, people be like, I know, right? And I'd say, I know. And
You already do that. You react to something in the news, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened. And I sit there and I go, I know what the hell you're talking about. So whatever.
well, something that just ended, and this is up to you. You, Robare.
Me?
Pointing at you with a sword of Damocles finger.
Uh-huh.
A show that you like, but I do not. Apparently it ended, and there's a lot of stir over this, and I still don't get it. Apparently, season 1 of the reboot of Quantum Leap just wrapped up, and whereas I am screaming, yes, hooray, goodbye, everyone is saying, but there's a season 2, so
That's
yay.
right. There's a season 2 coming.
Okay, I want you to do something for me.
All right.
This is another installment of the Cape Cod
Nerd Word.
You have until the end of this episode to sell me on this show.
Oh, jeez.
Go on.
Well, see,
Go on, Tortoise Boy. Defend it.
Well, see, that's the problem. Everybody who remembers Quantum Leap back in the day, starring Scott Bakula, drool, which was, of course, one of the draws for Enterprise.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, oh boy. 90% of the show was about Sam Beckett and his leaps, and then Al would show up and tell him what he needs to do to leap, and he would do it. And around season 4, we started getting more backstory as to what the modern age is like. We got to meet the people from Quantum Leap. We got to meet the computer Ziggy. So, we got a little bit of that, but not much, because the attention went back to Sam Beckett and what he needs to do, leap. Then we get the reboot series. Doesn't do that. The bulk of this new version of Quantum Leap, the emphasis is on the modern group of people running the show. And what Ben Song. So what Ben Song does in between his leaps is just a little smidgen compared to the rest of the modern part of the show. In fact, the modern part kind of takes over towards the end. But let me give you an idea what's going on. I rewatched most of the first season, and I jotted down notes.
Before we get into that, I'm just going to give a little context. Can I say that thing I like to say?
Go right ahead.
To the internet. Away!
Oh! It hit me this time.
Funny. Quantum Leap is an American science fiction television series created by Donald P. Belisario that premiered on NBC, aired for 5 seasons from March 26, 1989 to May 5th, 1993, starring Scott Bakula as Sam Beckett, a physicist who involuntarily leaps through space-time, hence the quantum leaping part, and followed around by Dean Stockwell, always smoking a cigar and chasing skirt, basically, as Admiral Al Calavici.
Yep.
Was that how it was pronounced?
That's it.
They would blunder into one disaster after another, which they would have to fix. And one of the running gags of the show was that only the audience, and also Al, could look directly at Sam's character and see him as Sam.
Right.
But everyone else would see him as the chosen character that he had jumped into in set timeline. A housewife, a little girl, a crotchety old man, a rodeo cowboy, a gay hairdresser, and, you know, it made a lot of crazy visual aids.
And they made it so that mostly only Sam would be able to see Al, but little children could see him and animals too. Yep.
Oh. Okay, and then all these years later, they decided to besmirch this by relaunching it.
Well,
Besmirch!
except we thought at the time that it was going to be more of the same.
Yeah, it came out on September 19th, 2022.
Yes, and Donald P. Belisario is still involved. He's an executive producer, so whatever's going on has his approval. So if you're going to be angry with anybody, be angry with him for making this, you know, travesty of justice, as it were, of a TV show.
I shall ready my sword and my spear. Wait, Whiskey has a spear. I could use that.
He's got a very long spear. Are you sure you can handle it? Are you sure you can handle a Whiskey spear?
I'm so glad he's not here at this moment.
I know, but he probably would have said something just as dirty, so it doesn't matter.
All right, go right ahead. Your time has come. Sell me.
All right.
The Cape Media Center, located in Dennisport, Cape Cod, Massachusetts, is a non-profit community media center and the public access TV station for the towns of Barnstable, Yarmouth, Dennis, Harwich, and Chatham. Our mission is to build community through media, enhance democratic communication, and facilitate free expression by providing these towns with a state-of-the-art media resource center. Members can become trained in our video and audio equipment and produce their own media content. Membership includes training classes, access to our field equipment, studios and facility, as well as airtime. Podcasters and music producers can share their content on our website. For more information, visit capemedia.org.
This episode of Bourbon on Ice is brought to you by Market Street Bookshop in Mashpee Commons, located at 31 Market Street, Mashpee, Massachusetts. Embrace diversity and find support for local authors and artists at the Market Street Bookshop, where your favorite new read is just a browse away. For more information, give them a call at 508-539-6985.
Alrighty. So, we start with the episode called A Decent Proposal, where Ben, he's in the 80s, he's a girl, and she is a bounty hunter. And he gets proposed by, I think, somebody from Beverly Hills 90210. Anyway, the guy's hot, so it doesn't matter.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait, is this an episode?
This is an episode.
This was the first. I thought the first episode.
No, it's not the first one. I'm skipping the first one because the first one is all talk, which we don't care about. I'm trying to sell you the gist of this first season.
Okay, mild spoiler alert for you people out there.
Oh, that's right.
Or full.
Big time spoiler alert.
I don't care about this series. Go ahead, listen.
You don't, but other people might. So, the first couple episodes, I admit, not the most exciting. A lot of talk. Very little actual sleeping goes on. By the way, Ben, you got to do this. Oh, all right, I'm done. Oh, yeah, and the leaping. That's a thing. This isn't selling it, I realize. But remember the old days when Sam Beckett leaped? It was like this big blue light that made him fade away, and then he reappeared in the new scenario.
In the last couple of seconds of every episode.
Right.
And he'd be like staring down a charging bull, or he'd wake up in bed next to someone.
Right. With Ben, when he leaps, it's like a wipe. And you just get like this, and then he fades away, and I'm like, that's it, really? It's supposed to be big.
Well, don't forget, this was 1980s effects, so it was selling us basically on their quote, breaking edge. What's the word I'm looking for? Cutting edge special effects.
I know, but I would have thought for the modern day and era, they would be bigger, brighter, and bolder, and they're not. They're just
subtle.
Very subtle.
Okay, continue.
Too subtle for me.
He's a woman. It's the 80s.
Yep, she's a bounty hunter. We discover in the modern times that this character called Magic was actually leapt into by Sam Beckett. Magic. The big black guy.
No.
Yeah.
As in, no.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Hello. Right. So there's the link between the old and the new. And, Sam Beckett, don't forget, never returned home. In fact, as far as they're concerned, he's still leaping, or else he's just stuck somewhere in the past because, Al probably died and can't help him anymore, or, Quantum Leap got shut down. So Sam's still out there somewhere in the past, never came home.
You're all completely wrong. He's in the diner.
Right. Which could be where God or whatever is. But Sam was supposed to make one more leap, and, God said, God or whomever says, you're going to make this one leap, and it's going to be where you need to go. And Scout would say, I need to go home, then that's where you're going to go. And so he leaps, and then you get this little caption at the end that says, Sam Beckett never returned home. Right, so he's still out there somewhere.
For those who don't know what we're talking about, the finale episode...
That's true, you can. You can delete whatever you want. No, not me, no!
The series finale of the original Quantum Leap aired in 1993 on May 5th. It was called Mirror Image, and it had Sam winding up in a mysterious diner, supposedly meeting God, and just as Robare went on to say, we get our title card after some dialogue that he never returned home, and that's just where the series ended. It ended there.
Yep. Yes, we were hoping for an actual finale, and no, we didn't get it. So we figured if Quantum Leap was going to come back, then Sam Beckett was going to be involved, and apparently Scott Bakula's not interested, or maybe he was. But anyway, I'm not going to go there.
Let's go.
So let's see. So at the beginning of the season, so I have to backtrack. Ben is assisted by his girlfriend Addison. So there's supposed to be that connection there between, boyfriend, girlfriend.
And I remember he didn't remember her.
He didn't. But in this episode, he starts to, at the very last second, he's like, wait. And then beginning the next episode, he goes, I remember you. We're together. And she's like, yes, but I couldn't tell you that because that was probably one of his rules. So that was a pretty decent episode. Next episode is Salvation or Bust. It's a Western episode. And, you're only supposed to go back as far as your leaper's past. But clearly this has gone back too far. Though I think the first Quantum Leap did that too, where they had Sam Beckett go back way too far, and then he had to somehow come back.
Yeah, didn't he get caught in, colonial days or something?
Yeah. So, in the modern time, there's a busybody from Congress who wants to talk to the team, when they're needed the most, working a leap. At the very end of this episode, we are introduced to an evil leaper.
An evil leaper.
Because just before Ben leaps, this guy grabs him from behind, whips him around. He goes, you gotta stop following me, dude. Stop matching my leaps. And Ben's like, wait, you called me Ben. Who are you? Just stay away from me. And then he leaps. So at the very end, everybody's like, whoa, wait, what's this guy?
I'm mysterious.
Then there's several really good episodes. And while they don't advance the story on the modern side, they're really good episodes in general. Episode 6, called What a Disaster, taking place during the 1989 Loma Prieta earthquake in California. And I'm like, oh my God, I remember this when it was happening.
No, letting go of all age jokes. Not doing it. Fine.
So that was a good episode that didn't advance the story on the modern side, but
Throwaway
episodes. It's an episode of history that I remember. Yes, because I'm old. Happy?
Well, what is happiness, really?
Then episode 11 is called Leap, Die, Repeat. And this was a unique story where there are 4 people in a nuclear bunker. And at some point, the bunker explodes and everybody dies. And Sam leaps into every single person in this bunker.
Multiple leaps in one episode?
Uh-huh. Multiple leaps in one episode, one place, different people, to try to figure out. Eventually he realizes it's got to be sabotage. Now who's doing it?
That's weird.
It is.
Is that something they ever attempted in the previous series? Multiple leaps in one episode?
Never. Not like this.
It's here for groundbreaking.
I mean, the most they ever did, you remember when Sam and Al swapped places? So Al was the real person and Sam was the hologram?
Vaguely. I do remember vaguely that episode, but I think that was before I truly understood the mechanics of what was going on.
Right. So Al's trying to do the leap, and he's failing miserably. So Sam had to leap into the accelerator and take Al's place so that he would solve the problem. So that's the most they've ever done, doing more than one leap at a time in an episode. Not like this. This was really, really different and done really, really well. After that was episode 12 called Let Them Play, in which Sam is a husband raising a transgender daughter.
Okay, I can see that. I mean, I know for a fact that one of the lead characters, I watched the first 3 episodes of the show before I gave up on it. Ian is non-binary.
Right.
Or did they ever actually state that?
I think they do somewhere along the way. I
Okay.
forget exactly.
But it's very clear. Also, the pronouns used to refer to Ian as they, so you can just pick up on that.
And then there were regular episodes. And then the next 2 episodes was a little more in the story where they were involving the modern team. Apparently, Al Calavicci's daughter, Janice, was also in the system somehow in the back end, manipulating other events, possibly manipulating this other evil leaper. And somewhere along the way, they discover that she must have her own Ziggy-like equipment to manipulate this guy. So they go to this guy's house and they arrest him and say, no, you're not going to do any more of this leaping, dude, because you're screwing with our guy. And of course, he has no idea. So they're thinking that he was leaping from the future. And then the very last episode is called Future Leap, where Ben leaps into the future.
Not the future.
Yes, the future, because you're not supposed to be able to do that.
Do we ever get those flying cars?
No. No. So he leaps into the actual quantum leap project when there's like a nuclear winter. And there's Ian, dressed in rags, and his hair is a mess. And he goes, I knew you were coming. We don't have much time. And basically, I have to give you a solution that you have to somehow get to my past self to put into Ziggy to save the day.
Huh.
Yes.
This is complicated.
It is.
It's not funny.
Okay. The old Quantum Leap might have been lightly humorous. It was never really funny. And you've mentioned that before, that, it's not as funny as it used to be. It was never really funny. But yeah, this one is, it's more serious. It's more complicated. And both sides are kind of equally involved.
It was renewed for a second season.
Yes.
Just a yes or a no for those of us who have not watched it and may not, although you did sort of intrigue me again. Did they end this on a horrifying cliffhanger?
Yes. Well, horrifying? No. Basically what they did is they ended it on, okay, we put in this program, Ben's going to come back to us, you just wait. And everybody looks at the accelerator chamber, and then it cuts out.
So clearly he's not coming back.
No.
Now, next season he'll start in the body of a
Monkey.
milkmaid,
That too.
mannequin.
Well, that would be something to leap into the body of an inanimate object.
They've already done multiple leaps in one episode. He's gone into the future.
Right.
He's gone beyond his past. So,
Yep.
yeah, this show is messing with the mechanics, man.
I believe they said that this time around he's going to leap into more famous people, which is what the previous TV show did before it shut up shop.
They had Buddy Holly.
Right. I believe he leaped into Elvis at some point.
He was the king.
Mm-hmm.
That was great. But as I've previously said, my favorite was my first, where he jumped into the body of Rod the Bod, the go-go dancer.
Yes, and my favorite one is when he leaped into the hairdresser because he got to wear leather pants for half the episode. And Scott Bakula looked really nice in leather.
Again, we watch it for the plot.
Oh yeah, totally.
Just like any of us who watched Hercules for the plot.
Actually, no, I did watch it for the plot. There was a string of 3 episodes that I really like. Nuclear Winter, where it was during the Cold War, and Sam leaped into a family who were selling fallout shelters. And then after that, Sam leaped into a psych ward where he got shock treatment, which made him cycle through previous people he leaped into, where he became, though not turned into, but he started acting like these other people that he leapt into. And sadly, the only way he could get out of it was to be shock treatment again. And then after that...
Sounds painful.
It was. And then after that, both he and Al got shocked, basically, and they both leaped, and that's how you got Sam Beckett as a real person and Al as a hologram, which has its own complications because, Al is real with a handset that doesn't work, and Sam is the hologram without anything to control the chamber.
I love how you're bluntly saying this is where it gets complicated. Like Amy Pond rushing into the room. All right, kids, now's the point where it gets interesting.
Yes. And she was right.
Who the hell are you? I'm you from your future.
Yep, this is how it all ends. Pond flirting with Pond.
Do I really look like that? Yes, you do. I'd give you a driver's license. I bet you would.
Yeah. See,
When do I get back into the TARDIS? Right after you slap Rory.
Bang, and there you go. Yep. See how it all works out?
I just love the fact that she sees herself a second time and she gives herself a flirtatious wave.
Uh-huh.
Dr. Luxor and says, "Stop that." Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You have sort of sold me.
The problem is that you started watching the series on basically what I consider the more boring episodes. Around season 6 is when things start to kick in. You're introduced to the evil leaper. Actually, the evil leaper doesn't show up until I forgot to write the episode down. But Salvation of Bus, which I think is episode. Oh, I see. It's like 4 or 5. So you skip a couple episodes, then jump in, and then run with it.
Oh, sorry. I was thinking of jumping the line. Beetlejuice.
Yes, yeah, that's the one, all right.
What was your favorite episode out of this season?
Oh, wow.
Yes, I'm making you pick one.
I don't think I can, but
Because there aren't any.
There are. I'd say it's actually, no. Leap, Die, Repeat. That would be my favorite episode.
The one with the 4 leaps.
The one with the 4 leaps.
Which is interesting. Okay.
It is.
I will give that one a shot.
Yeah. Because, I'm looking at the title, Leap, Die, Repeat, and I'm going, what the heck? And Ben does 1 leap, and he goes through, and then things catastrophically happen. And this isn't so much a spoiler, but everybody dies, and I go, well, that's going to suck. And then we go to a commercial, and we come back, and he's back at the beginning, and I go, whoa, what?
It was like that New Year's Eve episode of Doctor Who, where the dogs kept killing them.
Yes, exactly. Different than that, because you got the 4 people in the elevator, and Ben's one of them, and then we notice that Ben is a different one. And the person that he leaped into before is there on their own. And I go, whoa, wait a minute. And it appears to be the person in control. I'm like, all right, so Ben will be able to figure this one out and leap. And no. And then we do it again. I'm like, I guess we're going to do all 4. Well, this has never been done before. And it's all really tiny. It's almost like a 2-4 episode where there's only 2 people, except there's 4. But it's in one room, so it's a really tight space. And do we see Addison at all? I'm sure we must have done, but not much. And of course, the fun parts, when he finally recognizes Addison is, who she is and what she means to him.
So basically, we still have a lot to unpack. They didn't end it on a note where, let's just end it now. There's so much that we still have to discover.
No.
We haven't discovered the truth of the evil conspiracy and why it happened and why he went in the first place and all that.
No, we haven't figured that out yet.
Okay, so there is still a lot to unpack here.
There is.
Okay.
And they will think at the end of this season that they finally have control of Ziggy, and they will find out next season that they don't.
They don't. They so don't.
Nope.
All right, you win. I'm going to give this show another shot.
Excellent. And I know that when it comes back season 2, I will be right there on that next season going, all right, kids, don't let me down now.
Now is when it gets interesting.
Hey, Whiskey, what do you see above us?
I see the beautiful night sky, full of stars and the Milky Way.
What do you think it all means?
Well, I think it means we're gonna have another beautiful day tomorrow. And I think it really speaks to our place in the universe, you know? Here we are, specks of dust, riding on another speck of dust, flying at hundreds of millions of miles per hour through space and time, and we get to observe the majesty and glory of the universe and stars above us. Such insignificant beings we are, wholly privileged by time and circumstance to enjoy this moment, right here, right now. It's sublime. Why? What do you think it means?
I think it means someone stole our tent, you idiot. Twice in one episode. To the internet. Away! What? I can do that. I'm in charge of the soundboard.
Yes, you can. You can do that.
I can do whatever I can. I can make you sound ridiculous. Go ahead, say something.
I sound ridiculous.
There we go. Yes, my powers are vast, and apparently I didn't actually have to do that much. He sounds like that anyway.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if most people have ever heard of the show because it started great, crapped out. And it was very much along the lines of the show that we're talking about now. It was called True Calling, airing from October 30th, 2003 to April 21st, 2005 on Fox years ago. The concept of this show, and for anyone who is a fan of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, you'll recognize Eliza Dushku as she was Faith, the second Slayer, the admittedly more sexually aggressive one. She, for some weird reason, had the ability to relive an entire day. She gets herself a job in a morgue, because that's all she can come up with. She hears a voice whispering to her. She goes down the hall, and the corpse suddenly looks at her and says, "Help me." And the entire day starts over again.
Oh.
She then spends the entire day, A, fixing several awful things that happened to her and her family and friends, but B, remembering everything she can about the woman who she did the autopsy for and stopping her from winding up on said autopsy table.
Really?
Yes, and the show, it didn't explain why, but it started coming up with, things similar to this, where in one episode, a corpse says, "Help me," but she doesn't go back in time. Mm-hmm. But then it happens later when a second related corpse comes in. They started bringing in guest stars. Sometimes she discovered she couldn't actually stop it, and it wasn't about stopping the death, it was about stopping something that was happening at the same time. And then, yes, they brought in an evil Leaper, except they didn't call it Leaper. They brought in a rival, and it was played by, what was his name? The guy. Party of Five guy.
Matt Fox?
Jason Priestley.
Oh, him.
Do I even have the right show?
No, 90210.
There we go. That explains it. Jason Priestley, he's revealed to have the same power, but then he says, "These deaths must be preserved. I cannot let you do this." And the two of them wind up having their little fight across time and space. The show got renewed for a second season, and it lasted 6 episodes and then stopped.
Whoa. Wow.
Well,
did you watch this one when it was airing?
Yeah, I loved it. I loved the show a lot, and I was so disappointed when it ended.
Did it drop in quality?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, it had the sacred trinity, or should I say the unholy trinity. 1, they changed the time slot.
Mm-hmm.
2, they delayed it coming back.
Oh.
And then 3, the drop in quality. All 3 of those things together, and...
Wow.
And the show ended on massive cliffhangers, unresolved plot lines, and I was saying, it was pretty good. And it was a real crime show, and it dealt with time and space, but there we go.
But it's weird. It all seemed to deal with rewriting history. If you meet a corpse, and then you go back in time and make it so that that person doesn't die, then you've just kind of effed up all history.
And the kind of running gag about the thing was, her friends, her family, her job, they're all like, you seem to get up and run screaming out of the room for absolutely no reason all the time. What is that about? Why do you do that? Nothing. I just have things to do all of a sudden.
Why you run screaming? Okay.
She wakes up in bed, and the first day she goes through, her boyfriend is like, "Hi, let's lie here in bed all morning, and then I'm going to make breakfast. Of course, then the day starts over, and she's like, okay, well, it was great seeing you. Goodbye. Gotta run out. Wait, I'm going to make breakfast. Oh, well, go ahead. I'll be back later, probably. In reality, I'm going to stop a multi-death massacre or something.
Okay. That sounds odd.
You know, speaking of time and space, there's something we haven't discussed.
Oh, what haven't we discussed?
Jinkx Monsoon. Well, actually, Neil Patrick Harris and everything else that's about to happen.
Oh, yes. Because the last time we talked to...
About who?
The special for the Sea Devils was about to air, so...
Wow, that was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago. So we've got Ncuti Gatwa coming as the new Doctor, but before then, we have David Tennant. Well, actually, he should be called David Fortinant. But bum.
Ouch.
Thank you.
I hope you're happy.
I am very, because I heard somebody else use that pun, and I'm like, oh, that's too funny. Who's
funny.
coming as
That's
the
the word.
14th Doctor, and I no idea how that's going to work. Otherwise known as, what the freaking heck is going on here?
Yeah.
Somebody tell me, what the hell is going on here?
And there's a lot of noise going around. I don't think it's been entirely confirmed, but it has not been unconfirmed. But it's looking pretty good that Neil Patrick Harris's character is going to be the Celestial Toy Master?
Toy Maker.
Toy Maker, okay.
Yep.
I don't know who that is.
Oh. Shall I explain the Celestial Toy Maker?
Yes.
So, back in the 60s, this was a first Doctor episode. The Doctor arrives at this mysterious dimension, and he starts fading away. And eventually he disappears altogether. And he's with his companions are Steven and Dodo. And I try not to say mean things about any companion, but Dodo.
He was the Jar Jar Binks of the first season.
She.
Yeah.
She was a relative of some character back in the 1700s in France. And she just happened to stumble into the TARDIS believing it was a real police box.
Don't they always?
They don't always do that. When the Doctor lands on Earth, tends to happen, yes. So, and Steven was from the future, from the most recent Dalek episode, The Chase, which, if you want humor, it's there. Just about, yes.
Oh, I was joking.
Where you got the Daleks on the Marie Celeste, a goofy hillbilly character on the Empire State Building,
Okay.
and Daleks on a alien planet with other alien robots that are gigantic.
Go back to the Celestial Toy Maker.
Celestial Toy Maker, sorry. So the Doctor knows of the Celestial Toy Maker. He is this being in this alternate dimension, and what he does is he traps spacefarers and forces them to play games.
What a joke.
If they win, they get to go away, and if they lose, they become his playthings. Not that way, but pretty close.
I'm guessing that this is a dimension full of corpses by this point.
Well, not corpses. They would be a dimension full of inanimate dolls that he brings back to life to do his evil bidding.
Yeah, this type of guy.
And by evil bidding, I mean play games and cheat.
What a jerk.
Uh-huh.
He's like Mojo from the X-Men franchise.
Okay.
Just go with that. I'm right.
I will. So, yeah. So, the Doctor has to play what's called the Trilogic game. Are you familiar with the Towers of Hanoi? Okay. I'll take that as a no. Imagine, if you will, 3 poles. And on one pole, you have maybe 6 or 7 discs. Big ones at the bottom, and they steadily get smaller as you go up. The game is, you must put all of the discs from one...
Oh, that thing.
Right. They have to go from one pole to the next.
That's a puzzle in a lot of games.
In ascending order, right. And you can only move one at a time, so there's a lot of back and forth. So the doctor has to play this game all by himself in exactly 1,023 moves. So you can't make a mistake. And every so often, the doctor is reduced to a hand. The rest of him is invisible, and there's a reason for this. So you just see this hand moving the pieces from one pole to the next. And every so often, the toy maker will go, "You're going too slow. Go from move 128." And then the pieces themselves move on their own until you're left at waiting for move 129, and then the doctor has to pick it up from there.
That's weird.
Yes.
Also cruel.
Yes.
So basically what you're saying is the doctor has dealt with this clown before.
I don't know if he's dealt with him before. I mean, the toy maker makes it seem like there's some sort of familiarity between the two. I guess they must have done it before because there's a lot of familiarity between the two, and the doctor's like, "Oh no, not this again. You're not going to make me play your games again, aren't you?" So yeah, he must have done this long ago. So while the doctor's doing this puzzle game, Steven and Dodo have to play board games like Chutes and Ladders. They have to play some sort of dancing game that I don't quite understand, because the Celestial Toymaker is one of those episodes where not everything exists. So I haven't seen all of the previous episode because it doesn't all exist.
Oh.
I've read books. I think I've heard audio, so I kind of have an idea how it works.
Gotcha.
But I haven't seen it all.
I'm also joining the fervor of people commentating about Jinkx Monsoon. I thought that was a joke, but no, it's been confirmed, and I've seen the costume.
Me too.
And I'm just going to say, she looks fab.
Come on, you can do it.
I can't do it, damn it.
It's a drag queen. Come on, you can say it.
F-A-B-U-L-O-U-S. F-A-B-U-L-O-U-S.
You can say it for a drag queen.
I just said it. There.
No, you spelled it. You can say it
and
for...
everyone is convinced that they're going to be a devil of a character, an absolute nightmare, something evil. And all I can say is, yeah, I hope so. Don't waste time on making her good.
They are describing her as the most powerful enemy the Doctor has encountered.
I love it.
And I like it too, but
I love it.
But usually the most powerful enemy the Doctor's ever encountered is
the Master?
The Master or the Daleks. So I'm unsure how this is going to work. It's almost like it's a musical thing because she looks like she's wearing a piano.
And Neil Patrick Harris is there. You know he'll burst into song at least once.
Don't forget that when Billie Piper started on Doctor Who, she was a pop star, and not once did she sing.
Oh, the good old days. I miss them.
Well, technically we're going to get them back with RTD taking over again.
We'll see about that. We will see what happens. I have no idea. Do you have any idea?
I have thoughts, I have feelings, but I don't know.
Exactly. We will have to wait and find out. Everyone, thank you for listening. This has been an extra nerdy episode of Bourbon on Ice. I just want to thank Robare for sitting in for Dear Kidnapped Whiskey.
Thank you. I've had a wonderful time here.
I hear if we pay his ransom, we may see him again.
How much do they want? Can we afford that much? Let's just not deal with him.
It may be outside the budget. Everyone, I am your friend Frosty.
And I'm your Time Lord, Robare.
And as always,
have a cold one on us.
I mean, I don't happen to keep that much money around myself.
I don't have a bank account like that, no. Sorry, Whiskey.
This could take some time.
Yeah, sorry.
This podcast was recorded at and produced by Cape Media Center on Cape Cod, Massachusetts by podcasting duo Mike Whiskey and Your Friend Frosty. All music and sound credits go to soundstripe.com. Special thanks to Jamie Horton, Emily Tulloch, Gabrielle Rawson. For more information on Bourbon on Ice, visit our social media page at twitter.com/whiskeyfrosty. For more information on Cape Media Center, visit capemedia.org. For more listening options and a variety of podcasting entertainment, visit our hosts at buzzsprout.com and capemediacenter.org.